Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this is a super exciting video because we'll be unboxing my quota bag for 2024. Now, even though I got this bag quite some time ago, I decided to wait until my favorite time of the year to unbox it with you. It's very special because this happens to be the only bag that I bought this year, not just from Hermes, but any brand. The handbag displays at my boutique are amazing. So while we're having a bit of a chat at the beginning of the video, I thought I'd show you a few of the handbag displays at my boutique as they've changed throughout the year. I'll also show you some of my favorite pieces of ready-to-wear jewelry and watches. I found that they're really good about allowing people to take pictures or videos, so I've become much more comfortable doing that over time. I used to be really self-conscious about it, but my essay assured me that it's fine. So I've been to the boutique a few times this year, 5, maybe 6 times, which is a lot for me. Some years I only go into the boutique 2 or 3 times to pick up the items that you saw in a video that I posted a little while back with all of the luxury items that I bought in 2024. So if you're interested in seeing everything that I bought between my last quota bag last year and this one, it's all in that video. I bought all of those items between February and May. I went to the boutique once in June, specifically on Juneteenth. My essay wasn't there. I didn't buy anything, but we just stopped by for a drink. They had a super cute space for kids to color, and I didn't go into the boutique again until the very end of summer when I got this bag. Here are some of the watches that I thought were really beautiful. I really love Hermes watches. I'm not a watch aficionado, so I'm not all that concerned about the mechanics of their watches, but the aesthetics are really pretty. Here are some of my favorite pieces of ready-to-wear. If you're at all familiar with my channel, you'll know that I really enjoy Hermes ready-to-wear. That's probably where I'll divert a fair amount of my resources when I'm no longer buying bags. And that question of whether or not I want any more quota bags after the one that you'll see unboxed is something that I've thought about, and we'll talk about that later. The very last time I went into the boutique was to see the Petite H collection, which was super cool and unique, so whimsical and fun. In the true spirit of Petite H, they also had a very fun mask making workshop using the cast off pieces of leather and fabrics from their ateliers, similar to how they create their whimsical Petite H designs. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the beautiful pieces that were on display at my boutique this year. So now we're back home and I am super excited to do this unboxing. And you may be wondering why I'm so zoomed in on the box. And that's because if you're like me and you enjoy an Hermes unboxing video, you'll know right away the kind of bag it is just by looking at the box. So I'm trying not to ruin this surprise. If you watch my wish list video at the beginning of the year, I will say it is one of the bags from my wish list, which was quite a feat because I had to turn down other bags this year and last in order to get this one. More on that later. But just to remind you, what I requested from my essay this year in order of preference was a Kelly 25. My first choice was either Malachite or Verjade. I initially had Cypress on my wish list, but then I took it off. But I wouldn't kick that color out of bed. In Togo, Clemence, or Epsom, depending on whether I got a Cellier or Retourné. And with greens, I strongly prefer gold hardware, even though I do have a preference for palladium. Now, there are other greens that I may love just as much. I just haven't seen them in person, and I've learned from other colors that I'm so particular. In order to avoid disappointment, I need to see colors in person so that I'm not turning down offers. My second choice for a Kelly 25 was Rougeage Cellier in either Epsom or Box, and perhaps Chev. I've just never seen that bag in Chev, but I said Chev as well because it is a special order option for this year in that color. And again, even though I do have a preference for palladium, I strongly prefer Rougeage with gold hardware. And my last choice for a Kelly 25 was the color gold, which has been an option since I first considered a Kelly at the end of 2019. The color gold is the one color where I'm not as specific with the combination because I've seen all iterations of gold Kellys and there hasn't been one that I've disliked. I was very open. Cellier, Retourné, palladium, gold, Togo, Clemence, Epsom. Although I said to my essay that I would accept any gold Kelly 25, but I did caveat that if I had a choice, I'd want a Togo Kelly 25 Retourné with palladium hardware. The second category of bag that I requested was a Kelly pochette in a gray, but I was open to colors, just not any kind of pastels or neon or close to neon colors of any kind kind. And lastly is a mini Lindy, specifically in the blue jean color. I feel like I've been talking about that bag for a solid year now. So those were my options and I really stuck to them. I turned down other bags because I just wanted what I wanted and I was okay not getting a bag this year otherwise. All right, let's unbox. I don't normally get the year ribbon. My essay just happened to use the 2024 ribbon for this bag, and coincidentally, I was looking for this small travel pouch that I got with my first Click H bracelet. I found the ribbon for the very first item that I bought at Hermes, which was in 2014. So this just happens to be my 10-year anniversary shopping with the brand. So even though I'm not really much of a packaging person, I do think this is a nice little keepsake. So this bag marks 10 years of me shopping with Hermes, and I am so excited to have this bag. All of my Hermes bags were bought at the same store with the same essay that I've had for the last 10 years. So by now you can probably guess what this bag is. So here it is, guys. This is my Kelly 25 in Cellier in the color gold with gold hardware. I remember saying in my wish list video that if I did get a Kelly 25 this year, it will probably be in the color gold because it's a classic color. Hermes produces this bag more than the other colors. That being said, this combination is more in demand than the other colors that I had on my wish list, so none of these bags are easy to get. And my essay was quite clear with me that this was one of the hardest bags that she has ever secured for me, and this will be without a doubt my only quota bag this year, which is fine with me. So while Malachite and Rougeage were my top choices, I am beyond thrilled with this bag. I'm a Kelly girl through and through. Here she is with the lock and the clochette. The contrast stitching is beautiful and perfect, and I'm just so happy that after 2 years my essay was finally able to get me another Kelly 25. I did take a few pictures and videos when she presented this to me at the boutique, so I will insert them. And just so you know, I had no idea I was getting this bag. My essay usually does not surprise me, but she sent me a message just stating that she had a surprise, and boy was it a wonderful one. Here's my new Kelly next to my Birkin 30, also in gold. Colors can look dramatically different in different leathers, especially with the color gold. Sometimes different color batches, even in the same leather, can look very different if one has more of an orange undertone than the other. But as you can see with these two bags, the gold looks very similar, even in different leathers. Here's some close-ups side by side of the Togo versus the Epsom. And I haven't forgotten all of you guys who keep reminding me that I've been promising for a solid 2 years to do an Hermes leather comparison video. And it is coming, but I'm glad I held off because what I have to say now is very different than had I made that video a couple of years ago. I don't want it to be just me reading off descriptions of leathers that you could easily look up yourselves. What I want it to be instead is more about my experiences with the two most common Hermes leathers, which is not a video that I think that I could have made back when I only had one Epsom and one Togo bag. For example, here's my new Kelly versus my Kelly 25 that I got back in 2022. And I will say that the Epsom leather on these bags are very dissimilar. So if I was making a leather video and I only had one of these bags, it would very much skew my perspective and overall opinion of this leather. So although I've only had this bag for a few months, I've used it quite a bit. It's been every and anywhere, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Although, as I mentioned earlier, if I could have gone to the back and grabbed a gold bag, it would have been a Togo Kelly 25 with palladium hardware. That being said, I still love this bag, and I certainly wasn't going to reject it. So let's talk about how this bag offer came to be. As I've been mentioning for the past couple of years, I've wanted another Kelly 25 since 2022, maybe even 2021 when I got my first Kelly 25, and that was the Togo Noir with gold hardware. I'd found my Hermes bag style and size of choice. My essay knew I wanted an Atupe Kelly 25, but she said that both were not possible in the same year. Plus, I'd wanted to try a Birkin 25, so in 2021, my second quota bag was the Atupe Birkin, Birkin 25 instead of the Kelly, which was fine. I really like that bag. But she said that in 2022, I could probably get another Kelly 25 in my dream combination, and she delivered, and I was able to get the Noir Cellier with palladium hardware. And that was the year that I was told that my quota has been limited to one bag, and it has been that way ever since. I've already spoken about why I'm only allocated one quota bag per year, so I won't go into that in this video. I was, however, able to get a Constance that year in my favorite pink color, but since 2022, I was not offered another Kelly 25. In 2023, again, I asked for a Kelly 25. My essay told me there was 0 chance, but I was able to get a Noir Birkin 25, which was lovely, but it wasn't the Kelly that I wanted. Now, what I haven't told you is that in the summer of 2023, I was offered a couple of really incredible Birkin 25s that I turned down in hopes that a Kelly would come through, and one of them was a gold on gold Birkin 25. Now, I'm still going to make part 2 of all the Hermes bags that I've turned down, but I'm sharing this spoiler because it's relevant to this bag. That was a really difficult bag to turn down because I know that it is a holy grail bag for so many people. However, I turned it down because firstly, I have a Birkin 30 gold on gold, which is my favorite size for a Birkin, and the leather on that bag is spectacular. So I wasn't sure I would use the size 25. Secondly, I knew if I got another gold bag, I would want it to be a Kelly, but still I was so tempted by that bag, and I asked my essay to be brutally honest with me, and if I were to accept a gold on gold Birkin 25 last year, what are the odds if a Kelly in gold became available in 2024 that I'd be offered it? And she was honest, and she said, not impossible, but not great. So I was fine turning down that bag, but I did share with some of my IG friends that I turned that bag down, and it was pretty unanimous. Everyone thought I'd made a big mistake. And by the end of 2023, I thought I'd made a big mistake too, because I ended up never getting offered a Kelly 25. The Birkin 25 was great, but it was my 4th Birkin, my 2nd Birkin 25, and while I like Birkins, they're just not my favorite style. So by 2024, I'd resolved that it was a Kelly 25 or bust. I wasn't going to accept anything else other than a Kelly 25 in one of the 3 colors that I mentioned earlier. So my essay came through with some fabulous offers in the 2 colors that were the top 2 on my wish list, but they weren't in the exact combination of size, color, and hardware that I wanted. So they got rejected. She also told me since she knew that green was my first choice, she had a Kelly 25 Cellier in the color Ver Vertigo with gold hardware. But as much as I wanted a green bag, that particular green is gorgeous, but it was just a little too bright for what I was looking for. So I accepted the gold instead. My essay was surprised, but she understood that at this point in my collection, I'm not going to accept just anything. I'm willing to skip a year and not get any bags if it means eventually getting the exact bag that I want. Now, let's talk about the future of my Hermes bag collection. This is my 9th quota bag, and I'm really having a genuine conversation with myself about whether I even want a 10th. Now, stay tuned for my wish list video, because if I do decide to ask for a quota bag next year, I'll tell you in that video what I'd request. But I think I've come to terms with the fact that since I'm not sure whether or not I want another one, I'm going to take the next 5 to 6 months to think it through. The last thing I want to do is to buy these bags just because I can, and I'm in a position where I don't have to do these huge pre-spends. To me, that's not a good enough reason, especially because that money can most certainly be used for other luxury items that I perhaps would enjoy just as much. So that's where I am. I haven't come to a decision one way or the other, but it's in my personality in general to be a bit more mindful and measured. So I'm going to give myself the time and space to figure that out. But in the meantime, I've been looking at some really cute accessories to complement the bags that I already have, but I haven't invested in them because these bags are so expensive that they've taken up a good chunk of my luxury budget. So you'll hear more about those accessories in my wish list video. So please let me know what you think of my newest quota bag. Is it what you expected, or did you think that I'd gotten something else? What do you think about my decision to accept the gold instead of the Ver Vertigo? Which would you have picked? Also, what do you think about my thoughts on my Hermes bag bag collection and the possibility that this may be the end of the road for QUOTA bags for me. I want to thank you all for supporting my channel this year. I wish you a happy Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, I hope this is a relaxing time of the year for you, and I wish you a prosperous and blessed new year. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. That would make my day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.